So I want to chat about something and give you an analogy. If I'm struggling with my health and I want to be healthier, I want to lose weight, I want to be in shape, I want to be fit, maybe I have a goal of being able to run in a certain race, a marathon, 5K, something of that nature. And I go to my fitness instructor and I say, hey, these are my goals. This is what I want. I've really been struggling. I've put some weight on. I can tell that my health isn't as good. And these are my goals. This is what I want. I'm like really excited. And I know that this needs to happen. I know I need to do this for myself. I'm tired of struggling. But I really want to make sure that like when we're working out, like I don't get that sweaty. And I really want to make sure that too, like if I start to feel my heart racing at all, like we just stop, right? Like I really struggle. Like if I start to feel like I can't catch my breath, like I'm not going to be able to really handle that. But I'm really ready to make this change. It's not reasonable. We know it, right? So as you're listening to me talk and you're like, well, okay, good luck getting back in shape, right? The reason I'm making this video is because I love owners so much. I love owners. As a dog trainer, I always try to remember that at the other end of the leash is a human. Like I love dogs. Like you're not a dog trainer and not a person who loves dogs. But I always remember that there's an owner at the other end of the leash. So when I say what I'm about to say, it's going to be very point blank, please know it's coming from a place of love. I love my owners very much. But I've learned over the last 10 years of my career, I've learned that if I can't help my owners, I can't help dogs. I want to help dogs so badly. And if I can't help owners, I can't help dogs. So I'm going to put it to you straight. We get a lot of dogs in for rehab. We get rehab dogs in. Biting dogs, dogs who have bit people. We get dogs that are so anxious, fearful, and nervous, they won't even stand up to walk, right? So our wheelhouse is not just family pet dog training, but it's also running a rehab facility for dogs who really struggle. But even our dogs who don't struggle to a rehab level, even those dogs, they're going to struggle to a point, learning something new, breaking bad habits, right? When you're seeking professional help to get your dog trained, I mean, you're here for a reason, right? You know, your dog is naughty, they're pushy, they're bratty, right? Maybe they're just crazy, whatever. You're here for a reason. So I'm not specifically only talking to my rehab owners. I'm talking to all my owners. During the training process, 9 times out of 10, at some point in the process, you are going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to happen. Like, there's no way around it. And you go, what are you talking about? Like, I just want my dog trained. Why would I feel uncomfortable? Well, you're going to feel uncomfortable when you're going to have to make changes that you don't maybe want to make. This is not every dog, but I'm just giving you an example. There are some folks where we recommend that when the dog comes back home, that dog stays off of all furniture. That's uncomfortable for owners. It's not about the dog. It's uncomfortable for owners. Owners go like, yeah, but, and I'm like, yeah, but your dog bit 2 people. And is going to do it again if it comes home and still has this privileged mindset. So it's uncomfortable for owners. Some other things to think about, some other examples to think about. We get dogs in here and they're anxious. And again, I'm not only talking about rehab dogs. I'm talking about dogs even with generalized anxiety, right? They have just, a nice low level of anxiety. Even those dogs, when we start to slow their mind down, when we start to bring them down a few notches, you'll see uncomfortable things. What would that look like? Okay, so a dog who's used to pacing the house all the time, constantly pacing, or has separation anxiety from their owner, and they follow the owner from this room to the next room, right? When we begin to slow that dog's mind down and we have them do a downstay, guess what happens to that energy? It comes out through their muscles. What does that look like? It looks like a dog who shakes. It is a dog who shakes. And owners go, he seems scared. He seems nervous. He seems anxious. And I'm like, well, he's not scared. He's not maybe necessarily nervous, but is he still anxious? Yep, he sure is. And you're seeing that anxiety come out in a different way. I'm being very direct in this video because what ends up happening, I think, a lot of times with owners is they're like, I want the off-leash dog. I want a dog I can take to a patio. I want a dog that I can take for a nice walk through the neighborhood. And it's the friendly dog. Well, I want to be in shape.
It's almost like you got to see the forest through the trees.
Yes.
This period of being uncomfortable is so much shorter than the long, happy life that you're going to live with your dog when they have boundaries and are able to respect you.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. You have to look at the forest through the trees. You have to say, for me to get those goals, I'm going to have to do some uncomfortable things. Similar to if I want to have fitness goals and be healthier, I'm going to have to do uncomfortable things. It's just the way that it is. It's not, these journeys in life aren't necessarily easy. As a professional dog trainer, we spend day in and day out holding your dog's hand through the process. Hey dog, I know you're nervous. I know you're not sure. Here, let me help you. Let me work you through this. Hey dog, I see that you really, really struggle with this. I get it. I understand. Hey, let's start retraining you and let's start teaching you that instead of struggling with this, we actually focus more on that. Here dog, come here. Let me grab my hand. Let me show you. We spend our days like that, holding dogs' hands. What's hard is sometimes we notice with owners is they struggle more than the dog. Like the dog is okay not sleeping in the bed. Like the dog is fine sleeping in a crate. The dog is fine being put in a crate during the day. What we notice is it's the owners who tend to struggle a lot more than the dog. And so as you watch this video, no, I'm not picking on you. Know that this comes from a place of love. I want to help you. I want you to have this cohesive, healthy, solid relationship with your dog. That's what I want. And in doing that, I want you to look at the process and go, yep, when I want to make big changes, then I'm going to have to make some sacrifices and I'm going to have to recognize that there's going to be a journey and you're going to have valleys and you're going to have peaks. You're going to have valleys and you're going to have peaks. And like Cecilia says, when you look at the forest through the trees, you won't focus on these little tiny nuances that are just only for but a blip in the radar. We're talking about the process. It's just a blip in the radar, and the next thing you know, you will meet your goals when you stay the course and you do some uncomfortable things.